LTMs, where we load balance the traffic. Like we have the backend server, like for example, 50 backend server, 10 backend servers generally hosted behind our load balancer. And if you want to load balance that applications, because good utilization of the server. So for that, we use load balancers, but F5 is not only load balancer. F5 is so many things. F5 it is one of the intelligent device nowadays. That is the reason it is in market leaders at the moment. So it has the LTM modules, it has the GTM module, now it is called DNS, it has the ASM, now it is called WAF. So these are the modules inbuilt in F5. It depends upon how we are using. So it is one of the intelligent device. Before F5, I want to give a little bit overview. For examples, we have some here. Just consider this is your application server, which is hosted in your own premises like DMZ or internal zone. And for examples, there are 2-3 users. Here, just consider 2-3 users, but let's consider multiple people want to access these application servers. And there is no load balancers in the middle, no load balancers. And maybe just consider this is facebook.com, just for example. And maybe this is youtube.com. So if, for example, consider this server has only 100 capacity or request handle 80 times. And this server has also 100 capacity request handle 80 times. So just consider what will happen if a request is more than 100, right? For example, how it is going to be distributed among to the all the backend servers. So for that we use load balancer. Before load balancer, there was one legacy method, very old methods, F5 DNS load balance, not F5 DNS load balance. So what they generally do, they generally try to add the 10.5 DNS entry. For example, this is the server, its IP is 10.10.10.20, and this server IP applications or IP is 10.10.10.30. So they generally try to add DNS entry for facebook.com with 2 IP. So for example, 10.10.20, 10.10.30. So when this user is trying to access these applications, so everybody aware, like when you are trying to access anything on the browser, first part is DNS lookup happen, right? So when user trying to access facebook.com, it will go to the request will go to the DNS servers, and DNS is going to provide the IP address of this IP address, for example, 10.10.10.20, because we have binded 2 IP to single application server. So now once this client get the IP of 10.10.10.20, now this client will start communicating with this server, application server. And when this user is trying to access again facebook.com, this request will go to again DNS servers, and DNS server is going to provide a second IP that is 10.10.10.30, second server IP address. Now this client will just start communicating with this backend server. But what will happen if this server goes down? Is the DNS have the capability to monitor? No, it is just old legacy method. No organization is using at the moment. Okay, for that purpose, F5 comes in the pictures. It is fast, secured, and our application is generally available. We can say like every task. We have 3 application server hosted behind our load balancers. If one goes down, a still application will accessible. Why? Because F5 is intelligent device, it monitor the health of the backend server. And if any server goes down, it will not going to send the traffic to that backend server. It is only going to send the traffic to the server which is available. So this is the beauty of F5 LTM. Yes, other load balancer has also same features, but yeah, F5 is one of the one which is on top. So it is for multiple server tasks and reduce the workload of the backend server, so that backend server can perform faster with less resource utilizations. So it is going to be reduce lot of work of server. It is only going to be send the request to the backend server. Rest things it is going to be encrypt, decrypt on the F5 itself before sending to the client. So that is the reason it is fast. Also, it is secured. How it is secured? We'll see all the things when we'll cover our profile part, client profile, server profiles. but I want to give little bit overview to use. For examples, this is our F5 and this is the client and this is the application server which is hosted behind our load balancer. So we use here concept like profile. That is client profile and server profile. See, this is the user, but this user has no visibility, like who is in the middle. That is called F5 play as a reverse proxy, reverse full proxy, we can say. So what we'll do, we'll try to create CSR on the F5 itself. For example, application which is hosted behind our load balancer is facebook.com. So we'll create CSR of facebook.com on the F5 itself. So for the client, F5 is work as a server. For F5 server, which like for this server, F5 will work as a client. So don't confuse here, just understand like how we can secure the communications. So on F5 we'll create CSR and then we send that CSR to the well-known CA like DigiCert, like GoDaddy. And once we get the certificate, we'll try to import the certificate on the profile. And profile generally we call on the virtual IP. When user is trying to access the application, that traffic is going to be offloaded on the F5 itself. And F5 is going to be decrypted and check all the things like header of the packets, other whatever the details inside the packets, and then it will send to the backend server. So with the help of this profile, we can secure our communication, front-end communications, also backend communications. But not every company secure the backend communication. If you start working on the F5, mostly we use client profile only. Mostly we secure our front-end communications. And backend communication generally it is in plain text. But just consider some client is very strict. For example, in my current company, JP Morgan, the client, JP Morgan Chase. So they are very strict and they want to keep like front-end communications, also backend communications. This communication should be encrypted. At that times, we need to use client profile, server profile, and we need to call the certificate on the client profile as well as server profile. And server profile, client profile is generally called in the virtual IP. Okay. So, for example, certificate is signed by DigiCert, and that DigiCert basically available where in the browser. Let me show here. If you search like cert mgr.msc, if you search this, and if you go on the trusted root certificate authority here, so see there are so many well-known CA which is already installed in our browser. So when the certificate is signed by DigiCert and DigiCert already present in our browser in well-known root CA list, then our browser is going to recognize, okay, this is the genuine application, whatever you are accessing like facebook.com, youtube.com. This is the genuine applications. So while doing that, we can encrypt and upload our traffic to the F5 and then F5 will send to the backend servers. Let me know if you have any questions till now, Swapnil, or maybe anyone, no problems.
Okay, Surya, can you just explain the flow of the certificate? Like as you said, we need to import certificates, right, from this application.
Yeah, so actually, I will explain. There is a separate our topic itself, like F5 profile, where we'll cover in details like what is client profile, server profile, certificate, we'll create CSR, everything. This is just the overview I am giving Swapnil so that he can little bit understand. And once he will see the recording of first or second sessions, then he will be in our flow, because we have covered like 2 sessions, right? 2-3 sessions.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, so see, there are so many functions of F5, like load balance the traffics, SSL-based authentications, monitor the health checks, end-to-end secure communications, direct or redirect the request to appropriate resources. So what is the meaning of these? For examples, this is your F5 load balancers. This is your facebook.com application server. This is your maybe youtube.com application server. And this is the user who is seated on the internet. If you want, this user has IP address 10.10.10. 20. And if you want this user traffic which only sent to this backend server, so we can achieve with the help of iRule. It is one of the powerful tools in F5. So once we create iRule, this traffic will only send to the backend server. What is the second way without iRule? That is called source address persistence profiles. So in case of source address persistence profile, we'll see all the things when we start the profiles. I'm just giving the overview to you. So when traffic come to the F5, first time it is going to be sent to the two backend server, whatever the pool available to the F5. When second time request will come, it is only going to send to the single backend server because we have configured source address persistence. And accordingly, F5 is going to be keep record of the backend server. Okay, for this user, source address persistence is configured. So now I need to send the traffic to a single backend server. So when this is used, mostly in payment gateway company. For example, this is the user for part of some client, CLP the client. And if you want CLP user, only access the resources from this backend server. And this request is not decided by us as a F5 administrator. These types of requests always come from the application team, server teams, who manage the application related part. This is not our work, but yes, they will come to us and we need to configure it, we need to test it. So for that, we need to be aware, okay?
Okay, great.
Yeah. So I'm wondering where is I'm searching one other document where it is kind of a little bit good flow, but I'm not sure where it is. Okay, no problem. So let's start with our today content. So we have started like load balancing method, right? So we have covered like a static load balancing method. Let me just log in our devices. One more thing I want to add here, the people who don't have laptop for the practicals lab, cloud is the good options. Yesterday I have built 2-3 devices on the cloud of F5, and it is fine to use as a pay-as-you-go services. If you're trying to take pay-as-you-go services, and we can practice it, and later we can delete your resources. So once we delete it, mostly in month, we just need to pay like 100, 200 rupees. That's it, your bill.
So just want to know like how it can be done once you are free after the session or something.
Yeah. So first we need to create account on Azure. You have already account on Azure.
Yeah, I didn't use it actually.
Okay. So first we need to create an account, and once we create it, then for 1 month they give like around $300 US dollar.
Can we have a small session after this class? Just 10 minutes.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, just to show.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, Swapnil. So this is our topology. So we'll use on most of our content, and we'll do modification as per our request. So this is the people who is seated outside, and in production in lab we can't use much, like 1-2 pieces fine for testing purpose. And this is our just forget this LTM2 at the moment. So this is our LTM1, and this is outside interface, and this is inside interface. And this is our switch, and so this server is connected. For this server, what is the gateway? Gateway you configure like here floating IP. And floating IP basically kinds of virtual IP, kinds of HSRP, VRP. So you are very good on routing switching. So we configure VIP IP, virtual IP for the inside people and outside people. So for the outside people, this is the gateway. For inside people, this is the gateway. While doing the traffic will going to be sent to the LTM, and LTM is going to send to the client. So don't worry. Once we watch the first sessions, and if you start working and doing lab, we can observe all the things. If you have any doubt, we can ping anytime on the group, no problems. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So this is the HTTP weave, guys. So source is basically we are not sure about the source address, so we need to keep, because anyone can come from internet to access our application server. So generally, use source address as a default 00/0, and destination address is this. We need to keep the IP in the outside interface range. So for example, 2.100 and 2.101, 5 keeping at 2.200, and this VIP is for port 80. And inside the VIP, we have called the pool. If we come on the resources, so this is the pool called HTTP pool. And if you come to the pool, so this is the pool, and inside the pool we have 3 members like this one: server 1, server 2, server. So these are the routers. I made it HTTP server. Later, what I will do, I will deploy actual here Windows server for some other practicals, okay, where we install IIS, Internet Information Services. Okay. So I want to explain. We started load balancing method.
Yeah.
So in F5 load balancing method, so I have covered, like, I think first one. So let's try start from the list connections. So these are the dynamic load balancing method. So dynamic load balancing method, we can't get exact result in the lab, because only 1 or 2 PC we have. But in productions, we can see exact results. So here we need to focus on the implementation part and the concept, and that is enough for you guys to do in the productions. Okay. So what is list connection list connection load balancing method? So from name itself, it indicating like list connection means F5 is, in case of dynamic load balancing method, F5 is proactively monitors the backend server about the connections, about the health and everything. So the list connection is basically, for example, this server has at the moment request is 47 requests. This has the 125. This is 187. So when next time new traffic come to the F5 is going to send to the server which has the list connections handling. Okay. So the list connection method distribute new connection across available members node based on the current connection count between big IP system and server. So whatever the current connection at the moment to the backend server, F5 is properly monitored because it is intelligent device. Also, in case of dynamic load balancing method, we don't need to do anything statically. So F5 has the visibility to the backend server, like which server has how much connections, health, any and everything. So the server has the less connections, F5 is going to send the traffic to the that server. Okay. If multiple devices all currently have similar number of low connection, traffic is distributed according to round robin patterns. What is the meaning of this sentence? For example, at the moment, server 1, just consider this is server 1. This is server 2. This is server 3. Server 3 has a connection 187. Server 2 has a connection 125. Server 1 has 47. So whatever new connection come to the F5, F5 is going to send maximum to the 47, this server. And once all the server has equal connection, let's consider this has also 128, 187, 187 here also reached, and 187 is already there. So now when new connection will come, what F5 will do? F5 is going to start as a round robin, because now at the moment all the server has the equal connections. So F5 is going to send as a round robin, like one to this, one to this, one to this. So this is about the list connection, and it is the type of dynamic load balancing method. Let me know if you have any questions.
Surya, here, firstly, you said like first server is capacity of the handling the 47 connections, right?
No. This is just mentioned for the examples. So let's consider this server, all the 3 servers have equal hardware capacity, CPU and RAM. But server 1 at the moment has only 47 connections. Server 2 has 128. Server 3, 187. In this case, if any new traffic coming to the F5 and we are using list connection dynamic load balancing method, so F5 is going to be first send the traffic to the server where the list connection ended.
Oh, okay. Now it's clear. So currently the server having the connections already established the connection which is the 47. So which is 125, 187. So the first next session when it is come here, it will be prioritized for the first server which is the 47, right? So then it will be
Yeah.
48, right? Okay, this is
Correct.
the mechanism. Fine. Okay, great.
And how we can do that? So again, we use I think least connections. Yeah, I think we covered in the study session. Sorry, on previous session, but no problem. So how we can tell that? So if you want to use load balancing method, so this is the recommended to use on the pool levels. So if you come on the pool, then we to come on the members, and here we can select our load balancing methods. So we can list connection members, and then we can update here. And once you update, try to reset the in lab environment. That is fine. Uh, uh, Come to the statistics, and here we can reset the statistics, whatever connections, and then we can start testing it. But yes, in lab environment, dynamic load balancing, we can't see exact output, exact things, but this is the way to configure, and this is the actual concept. We need to come on the pool, and on the pool level, we need to attach our load balancing. It also asks in the interview, while if you give the interview and give the exam of 101, 201, these types of questions generally comes. Okay.
So I'm just repeating again,
Now,
like which is the best load balancing method which you are recommending?
see, so mostly as per my experience, round robin you use, mostly 80% company use round robin. It depends upon company to company. For example, let me go in depth here. Let me erase this. See, as an F5 administrator, we need to understand all the load balancing method so that if any times the requirement comes and you are working in the shift and you are handling that changes, so you should be aware, okay, what is the meaning of round robin, what are the meaning of list connections. So for that purpose, we need to understand all the load balancing method. But in mostly company, what I have seen, for example, they mostly deploy equal capacity backend server. So in case of equal capacity backend server, we use round robin, right? So mostly use round robin and sometimes use ratio. For example, if application team come to us and they said, okay, this server has less capacity related to these two server. So could it be possible to provide less ratio to this server and more ratio to this server? Yeah, that is possible. Then it will come as a ratio load balancing. And that is the part of a static load balancing, right? So mostly coming to your questions, mostly company use like round robin, ratio, and somewhere like dynamic load balancing also like list connections, and we'll cover one of the important one, this one, weighted list connections. This is also type of um, load balancing. It is also dynamic load balancing type, weighted list connections. So these types of load balancing used in the products.
Okay, that's great. Yes.
Yeah. One charges.
I'm just asking once again, like this load balancing method, it's like a one profile. It's only suppose I have the multiple application, which is like for one application is configured for the three server, and another application is configured for the another two server. Another third one, it's application. I mean, application is configured for the four servers. So 3, 2, 4, something like this. So here, once we configure the profile, so we are what do you call? Uh, we are configuring for the profile for the each server applications, right? So this one we are configuring inside the what do you call each profile, right? We are, which is a load balancing method for the inside each profile or not, right? Yeah.
Yeah, see, in the virtual server, inside of virtual server, we can call multiple profile, client profile, server profile. Okay. So for example, this virtual server is working for 2, 3 applications. Like we have created this virtual server and attached one pool. Again, we created virtual server attaching different pools. So whatever applications hosted for Facebook.com, so for that we need to create CSR and profile. We can call it here. Okay, so multiple pool can be called on multiple virtual server, depends upon the requirement. And this will be clear once you start the profile part. Okay, so once we cover the profile, then your client profile, server profile concept will be clear.
Okay. This was good. Fine. It's good. Thank you.
Yeah. So, okay, so second load balancing method, it is the part of dynamic load balancing method of F5. So weighted list connections. So from name itself, it indicates weighted list connections. So when this load balancing method is, guys, when the backend server has not the equal capacity, handling capacity, application server, you know very well, to make one application, we need web server. On that way, we use application server, and backend we generally have database server, right? So these are not our work, but we need to understand and about like how one application make it. So creating one application, we need these three details. So for example, this is the application server, what is hosted behind our F5 LTM load balancer, and this server has capacity, max capacity 100 at the moment. This server has max capacity 200, and this server has the max capacity 400. So if you use the weighted list connection load balancing method, so F5 has the visibility, okay, this server has only handling max capacity is 100. So this server has 200. Accordingly, F5 is going to be load balance the traffic, send the traffic as per the capacity of the backend server. Okay, so this is we can say like the actual work and the meaning of load balancing method. These things makes F5 perfect in the process in the market. Okay. So as I like the list connection method, this is also select the pool member or node based on the active connections. Okay. However, the weighted list connection method based its selection on the server capacity. So on the basis of server capacity, how we can do that? F5 is an intelligent device. We have configured weighted list connection load balancing method. So he has the capability to monitor, to the backend server related to performance, existing connections, each and everything. And if you configure weighted list connection dynamic method, accordingly, it is going to be send the traffic to the backend server. Now let's try to understand with the help of example. For example, if a server has 40 connections, okay. For example, this server has 40 connections. Total capacity is 100. So how many percent of utilizing? 40%, right? Correct? As server 2 has the 40 connections. This server has 40 connections, but its utilization is 20. Max capacity is 200. At the moment, only 40 connection is there. So how much percentage? It is almost 20%, right? And this server has max 400 requests and only at the moment has 40 connections. So how much percentage is? Almost 10%, right? So now A5 has the visibility, okay, this server has 40 connections. Its max capacity is 100. This server is also has 40 connections. Its max capacity is 200. This server has also 40 connections. Its max capacity is 400. So according to percentage, this server has 40% utilizations. This server has 20% utilization. This server has 10% utilization. So when a new connection come into the F5, it is only going to send maximum traffic to the server where less percent of utilization. So this is the weighted list connection load balancing method, and it is also the part of dynamic load balancing. So let me know if you guys have any question related to weighted list.
This capacity where we are mentioning in the file, like I have the this server has the 100 capacity something. Is there an option?
On server level, we can't. On F5 level, we don't need to do anything. These types of requests you get from the team who manage the applications and all. Okay. Here we don't have any options kinds of thing. Where we can limit the connections. We can limit the connections here. Connection limit where we can do that. But which server has which capacity, these types of request will come from the application team. Okay.
Yeah, once application team is decided, I mean, the inform us
Yeah.
like this server has this much capacity, only we will come here and we will
Yeah.
modify the capacity as per their recommendation, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
you are right. See guys, anything's happen in the productions, any new deployment happen, generally it's happen with the help of combinations of our teams, application teams, and firewall teams. So for example, if handle all the things, F5 firewall, and that is good things. If you don't handle, then there is combined call schedules. I'm telling on the basis of my experience, and I said in the beginning also, I will share all the things to you guys which I face in the company, like troubleshootings or deployment and how communication happen in the productions. So when any request come like this in the productions, application team raise the request to us, will involve the firewall team. Then we schedule one combined call. We'll go on the call. We'll discuss all the things, and then accordingly, application team will raise the change for their work. We will raise change for our work. The firewall team will raise change for their work, and then we implement all the things, then we generally join the combine call and do the testing. Once everything is done, then we put this in the production. Then we can live this in the production. Okay.
Okay.
So these are the load balancing method. I think Swapnil, you are getting little bit idea, because don't worry about it. This is your past sessions, and once we start watching first or 2 second or second of recording session of recording, we will be in our flow. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, sure.
So this is about weighted list connection load balancing method, guys. RSU will cover, round robin cover, and now last predictive is not much use, and you can ignore this. We will try to see this one. Observe. This is sometimes maybe according to my experience, I never use observed, but yes, as an administrator, we need to understand all the load balancing method. Okay. So observed is also the type of dynamic load balancing method. Before that, I want to show one thing to Swapnil. So Swapnil, this is the load balancing method. In F5, there are type of load balancing method, static methods and dynamic methods. So in a static method, there are two types, round robin and ratio. They're widely used nowadays in the company, this static method. And you know very well, a static means we need to define it. And whatever we define, accordingly, F5 is only going to act. In case of dynamic, we just need to define the load balancing method. F5 is going to do all the thing in the backends. But in case of a static, whatever we define, only F5 is act accordingly. Okay. So in case of dynamic method, we have list connection, we have fasted, observed, predictive, dynamic ratio, list sessions, and weighted list connection. And what is the how many are the important in case of dynamic? So this use fasted one, observed one, and this weighted one. Apart from that, these are very less used, but in dynamic methods, these are the widely used in the productions. So these are the types of load balancing. Okay. So whenever we discuss these, now you have the idea, okay, these are the part of dynamic methods. When we discuss round robin ratio, these are the part of static load balancing methods. Okay. Okay, so in the case of observed, guys, its name indicates observed, means in the observed method, big IP will rank the pool member based on the number of layer 4 connections and automatically create a ratio load balancing. Okay, I will try to explain little bit depth, don't worry. The pool member with lower layer 4 connection will assign with higher ratio so that it will start receive high connection request. The pool member with high connection will start assign the ratio lower ratio. This method of load balancing can be done either node or pool member based. So I just mentioned on my first session also, our first session also, like we generally use load balancing method on pool level. The reason we use for pool level, because because on pool levels, we have all the members. And once you do anything on the pool level, so pool has the visibility of all the three server. And if you do anything on the server level, like node levels, only one server has all the visibility. Like F5 has only one server has visibility while communicating to the backend server. So it is recommended, and mostly where in the production we use load balancing method on pool level, not on node level. But yes, if anyone come to you and this is the request, so yes, we can implement it on that's not easy. So now come to the here. Just consider this is our F5, and this is the backend server. Let's consider 3 backend server. If any request come to the backend server, sorry, F5 load balancers. For example, let's consider this server has 10 connection at the moment. This has 20. This has 30. Server is going to F5 is going to be send the traffic. Now this server has only 10 connection, right? So F5 is availability. Okay, this server is only 10 connection, and we are using observed load balancing method. It is a part of dynamic load balancing method. So now F5 is going to give little bit ratio more to this server. For example, it will give 3 ratio. Here is little bit more connection at the compare of server 1. Here we can give like 2 ratio. Here we can give 1 ratio. So 3 times traffic will send to the server 1, 2 times traffic will send to the server 2, and like 1 times traffic will send to the server 3. For example, if 6 requests come, 3 requests will go to the server 1, 2 to this, and 1 to this. So this is observed load balancing method. F5 is going to observe the connection, and accordingly it is defined the ratio. Okay, ratio is defined by F5, and these are the inherent features, right? We can't see this thing. Okay, but we need to understand the concept. It is going to observe the connection. As per the next connection, it is going to define the ratio. Okay, let me know if you have questions.
So fine. All of them are looks like a little bit same at the end, right?
Almost have little bit same. Only some concept like weighted, where it is going to be defined on the basis of percentage, max capacity of the server. Least, it is going to be observed the least, but it will not define the ratio. In case of observed, it is going to be observed plus also define the ratio. So little bit difference, but if we relate it, almost kinds of same. Okay, how we can do that? We need to go to the pool, and we can use your observed load balancing method. We can update it. And in case of weighted, we need to come here and weighted list connection member on the member levels, and we can update here. Okay, so what is saying, the weighted list connection algorithm for pool require all pool member to have a connection limit greater than 0. Okay, so yeah, you remember it. We have set like connections that here we have set a ratio 3, so we need to remove the ratio and we can keep 0. What is saying, value out of range? Okay, maybe we can give 1 here. Okay, so accordingly we need to whatever the load balancing is here, everything is showing on the pool levels. If you come to the server levels, here if you come to advanced, we can use your health monitors, IP encapsulation. We'll see some things later. We come the node here, server 1, pool membership. This is the pools, and inside pool we come the member, and we can define a load balancing. Okay, so load balancing method always called on the pool level, and health monitor checks always called on the pool as well as node. Okay, so just make sure it. Health monitor we can call on the pool as well as node, or load balancing method always called on the pool. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so now we have covered our load balancing methods. Now we'll start one important topics, F5 health check monitors. So what is address check monitors, and we'll try to see in the lab also. Okay, So let me bring this health monitor first. Yeah. We don't try to read all the things not required. Focus on the types here. So health monitor indicates from name itself, this is our F5. These are the backend server, application server just consider. So there are so many methods, there are some method in F5 to monitor the backend server. And on the availability, for example, this server has down. So F5 is not going to be send the traffic to this server. It is only going to send to the server which is available. Okay. See, monitoring methods, there are some type like simple monitoring, active monitoring, and passive monitoring. So what is the meaning of simple monitoring? In simple monitoring, it is just going to check the node is up or not. For example, we can use ICMP. If you use ICMP, our F5 is going to be continuously pinged to the backend server, that is node. And if it is up, it is fine. If it is down, it is going to be marked as down and it is not going to send the traffic to the backend server. In case of simple monitoring, only it can check the status of the node like it is up or not. It is not going to check the service. It is not going to check the content. Like this server has HTTP running, or this server has HTTPS running, or this server has FTP running. These are not going to check in the simple monitoring. It is only going to be checked. Are you live? Are you live? Are you live? That's it. If node is live, accordingly it is going to be active. So this is called simple monitoring, where it use ICMP, gateway ICMP, TCP echo for monitoring. Now come to the F5 and we'll try to see. You come on the pool, members, and so these are the default monitor already created. We'll see other things one by one. I want to show this example. Yeah. So this is the health monitor, right? So health monitor, there are so many default. These are the default one. But yes, if required, we can create custom also. Okay. So sometimes in production required to create custom monitoring also. For that, we need to create custom. And then we need to, once you create custom, it will show here and accordingly it is going to be use it. Okay. So now come to this one. If you're using simple monitoring, in case of simple monitoring, what will comes? ICMP, for example, this one, gateway ICMP, and yeah, gateway ICMP. See, in this case, if you do like this, let me just remove this, update it. So in this case, guys, it is only going to ping this backend server. F5 is going to ping this backend server. If you try to do capture here, let me try to show you in the Wireshark also. Ethernet 1/1. See, 1.100 is sending all the backend server ICMP को request and reply is getting. So if you are using health monitor only ICMP, it is only checking the backend server like it is off or not. It is not going to check the services like HTTP or UDP. See, now let me stop the capture. And now we can see here. 1.100. What is 1.100, guys? This is our self IP, right? So if you are not using like HA concept, if you're not using AutoMap, if you're not using SNet pool, so while communicating to the backend server, F5 is going to use our in interface IP address that is called self IP. So whatever IP you configure on the interface level, that is called self IP. And whatever IP you configure as a virtually like VIP virtual IP, that is called floating IP. We'll see when we'll cover our HA part, then we'll understand about the floating IP in more depth. Okay, so I just wanted to show simple monitoring how it will look like. So F5 is sending reply ICMP request to the 1.3, 1.1 also, 1.2 also. So it is going to send to the request ICMP to all the backend server which is hosted behind our load balancers. So that is called simple health monitoring. Let me know if you have questions.
Okay, fine, it's clear. So TCP echo, what how the things will be happening here? Yeah, in the Wireshark.
TCP, which one?
Yeah, TCP is like it's like a ping only, right? All the same. It's a ping, right?
Ping. See,
okay.
When we use simple monitoring, in simple monitoring we have ICMP, gateway ICMP, TCP echo. So here it is not showing. Maybe depends upon version to versions. At the moment, in simple monitoring, at the moment only available as a gateway ICMP. Okay, like this method is not available at the moment, like TCP echo, ICMP. Now they have maybe remove other default one, and in simple monitoring they have kept as a gateway ICMP only. Okay. But yes, if anyone asks, we can tell in simple monitoring. These are the types of simple monitoring, simple health check monitoring in F5. Okay. You should be expert, guys, in all of the terminology concept in F5, so that if anyone come to you, at least you know 80%, rest 20% we can do Google and other stuffs to tell the answer. Okay, if you want to only monitor your backend server as a node up or down, okay, we can use our gateway ICMP health check monitor. But yes, this is not used mostly in the production. Why? Because it is only monitoring the health, not the services. What happens if HTTP service is down? The FIP is only monitoring the node. But if HTTP service, this server has HTTP service running, what will happen if the service is down? Maybe sometimes services have been stopping on the application server. You guys are working in the production, sometimes this type of requests come. So that is the reason in that times, we generally use this method, active monitoring. What will happen in active monitoring? It is going to check the node status as well as services also. Okay. So in check the status of pool members and node, check the application running in the node. There are many active monitoring. It checks the status of protocols, service, etc. Application example HTTP, WAMI. Okay. So these are the types of active monitoring. So if you come here, just remove this. And in case of active, try to use TCP here. TCP we can use or UDP here. TCP, UDP. Try to TCP here, update it. Now again you try to capture it.
At a time we can enable one or more monitoring, health monitoring for the node.
Yeah, suppose you can do that. You can do that. Yeah, we can do that. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We can do that. It depends. Yeah, but if you only do, we can use multiple health monitor, but that monitor should be enabled on the backend server. For example, this server has HTTP service running, also HTTPS service running, also some other services running. At that time, so we can use multiple. But what will the benefit if this server has only one service running, TCP service running? Then why will you use another one, right? But yes, for your questions, we can use multiple health check monitors. It depends upon the requirement. Okay. Just remove this. And let me update here. And now we'll try to do the captures. And we'll see here what is the behavior. At that times we can see scene, CNAC, and other stuffs. Earlier we were only able to see ping requests, is ICMP echo request, reply. One thing here, let me check the pane also. I will give my best to explain so that you guys can catch as many as you can. Okay.
Yes.
Because this is I always say like this is not kind of professional training where there are so many restrictions. No, we'll learn in depth and it's fine for slow, no problems. So this is discussion. So in case of ICMP health check, it is only going to check to the backend server, all the backend server. ICMP request, reply, request, reply, request. If there is no reply, it is marked down. No reply, marked as down. But in case of TCP, let's observe the behaviors. It will do capture 1.1. See what is happening at the moment if you're using the TCP health check monitors. SYN, SYNAC, AG, FIN, FINAC, everything. Right? So in this of TCP, it is going to be send the SYN request, then SYNAC, AG, and once 3 bands are completed, okay, it will mark as okay. Backend server has health is okay, and also service is also running. Okay, so this is about, let me stop this. This is about the health monitors. Is TCP. Okay, and also we can use as UDP. UDP is also part of active health monitors. Okay, so we have covered address check monitors where it will only check the status of node. Service checks, it will check the service along with node status. Service like TCP/UDP. It depends. Now third one is content check monitoring. So content check means, guys, its name indicates something inside the server should be present. For example, HTTP. So HTTP will be part of content check monitoring. Just let me remove this. If you use HTTP here, HTTPs, these are the part of. Okay, let me remove. Yeah, let me update here. And now we try to capture again. And we can see what is happening in case of HTTP monitoring. See, now it's sending. See, ICMP and SYN other parts will be happen. Apart from that, now we are sending some. Let me stop this. HTTP gate. If you open this capture, if you come on the hypertext transfer protocol, HTTP, these are the gate request. Okay, so gate is the method of HTTP. See, in gate it is showing client is sending to server. I need /r/in with something which comes to everything, whatever available to that application server, backend server. And once it will get the reply, accordingly it will act as okay. This server has the things available, content available, whatever I have requested. I need the, for example, content like, for example, /home/ there is directory like /home/ d, and inside that directory we have some content like text.123. So we have configured, okay, if that content is available on the backend server, please mark as active. If that content is not available to the backend server, please mark as down. So that is called content check monitoring. Means it is going to check some content, and that content should be available on the backend server. If not, please mark the server as down. And now that new traffic will not send to the backend server. So we need to understand the concept, guys, because sometimes requests come to us. We only monitors. We want to use, maybe application team come to you and they said we want to use content check monitors. Please define on F5. This content is only HTTP content is only available to the backend server. If not available, that request should not send to that backend server. If content is available, that is only need to send that traffic to the backend server. So this is called HTTP. That is called content check monitors. In content checks, we have some another type also. First for here, just understand example like HTTP. In content check, other things also, maybe some file or some other stuff depends on the application. Okay.
Okay, suppose if we have enabled this kind of monitoring here, so if any kind of services is down, like HTTPS service is server is up and service is down, like HTTP service is down, application is down. So we will see that status somewhere, right? Like it is a red mark, right?
Yeah. We can see here like availability.
Availability.
So for example, yeah, here comes up unknown.
Unknown, yeah, it will say like suppose instead of doing the workshop, you can come here and see that service is support on.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We can also check from the CLI. Let me show here 182, 168, 37. Let me remove this. And the password I have given. Okay. Here we can also list, just run list LTM pool, hit tab, and we have this pool. See, at the moment it's going to show the details. If you want to check the connections and availability, we can also see that. How we can do that? Show LTM pool, and we can use tab, and this is our pool configure. If you run this, it is going to show the availability here. What is the available status? A status is enables and total connections, traffic in outs, everything so we can see from the CLI also. Okay. So we can, for example, in availability, if you're able to see unknown means, okay, something issue with health check monitors. If you're able to see here disable, that is something different, okay, something wrong with our pool. Then we need to go on the check on the how many members inside the pools. Okay, 3 members. Check the status of all 3 members. It is pingable from F5. Yes, it is pingable. Then ask the server team, okay, could you please check the services enabled on your application server? Because at the moment we are able to see here availability is unknown and we have already configured health monitor as HTTP, TCP. So could you please check the TCP services running on the application server or not? So these types of things we can do in the production. It depends upon the issue. If we come to the monitors, see, this is the HTTP monitor by default it's created. What is the string it is going to send? Get /r/n means everything it is going to check. Some things we can do Google also, guys, in your free times for some terminology and some things we can do Google also. And what is the interval? 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds it is going to send. And after 60 seconds, if it is going to be send the request to the backend server, and after 60 seconds, it is not going to be replied back from backend server. F5 is going to mark that node as a down. Okay. These are the intervals we can modify also. If you do custom, if you want to create custom monitoring, we can do modification here also as per the request. We can do modification intervals, timeout, everything. Okay. One more thing I want to show here. Yeah. So we have covered status check monitors, service check monitors, content check monitors. Now this one is interactive check monitors. So what is the meaning of interactive check monitor, guys? Let me explain this. Let me just remove all the PDF. Leave. Yeah. Come here. I want to share this video to you guys. All the PDF. But interactive check health monitors. See, in case of interactive, guys, F5 is going to work as a human, like you and me. Okay. And
Hello, session disconnected.
Hello, Surya.
So there was a disconnection.
Yeah, we cannot hear you.
yeah, actually, there was power issue, so now I'm connected with my mobile phone. No problem. Okay. In case of interactive check monitor, guys, F5 is going to work as you and me. Okay. And for example, this is the FTP server. You know very well FTP server, right? FTP server why you use for file transfer. This is also FTP server, and this is also FTP server, right? And on this FTP server, we generally create our username and password, right? Like these people can only access that server, FTP server. These people can only access, like Haris can access, Rahman. We have created 3 users, like Swapnil, Haris, for Haris, and Rahman. They can only access the FTP server. So what if I will do in case of interactive check monitors, whatever username and password we will create it, F5 is going to be act as you and me, and accordingly it is going to be used as a username and password while communicating to the backend server. So once it will communicate to the backend server will ask the username password for authentications. F5 is going to provide the username and password, and once F5 will provide username and password, okay, now server and F5 will understand. Okay, this is the genuine guy who log in our FTP server. So while doing that, F5 is going to be monitor the FTP server. So that is called interactive check monitors, where F5 will act as a human like you and me. F5 is going to log into that server, FTP server, and monitor the health. That is called interactive health check monitors. Okay. For example, someone has removed the username from this server. And when F5 is going to try to use username, like for example, Haris and password something, but Haris is removed from this server. At that time, F5 is going to mark this down, because while communication, F5 is going to use username password, but that username password is not available in this backend server. At that time, F5 is going to mark the server agent down, and it's only going to send the traffic to this backend server. So this is called interactive health segment.
So that means if we want to protect our, that means if you want to protect our kind of FTP, like I'm just was accessing some kind of file from this FTP server, so that user and password will be ended in the F5, right? Hello, Surya? Yeah, voice is breaking again. Not audible. Not audible.
Yeah, just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Light has been back. So now I will connect in through my Wi-Fi. Just 1 minute, 1 or 2 minutes. Just 1 or 2 minutes. Let me change the Wi-Fi.
So yeah, in market right now, Wi-Fi router also, backup router also, sorry, power bank also available for router, almost 1,000 price. So that will be very helpful. Hello.
Rahman, that's a good option, right? Like suppose the power is down, then router can be get it to the
Yeah,
power bank.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I am also using that power bank for router only,
So
and they
yeah, I
are
mean,
providing the backup almost 4 hour. Yeah, almost 4 hour power backup.
okay, is it inbuilt or external power source we need to
No, no,
connect?
no. Yeah, just I am sharing that picture on WhatsApp group.
Okay, fine. Okay, here the power bank is a external one, right?
Yes, yes, that one is external one, and company name is Photonic. They are
Mm-hmm.
providing the 4 hour power backup for the router only.
Okay, it will help like normally power outage is there in the
Yeah,
sites,
yeah,
it will help, right? Okay,
yeah.
good. Are you using the above the heater? It's a pipe of the heater, right? Right, Rahman?
Yeah,
As a stand.
yeah.
Nice. It's a good info. I didn't think about this kind of method, but it's nice. It will help, like
Yeah, very
right?
good solution with a low budget.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Are you right in Dubai or from India?
Actually, right now I'm in Dubai.
Okay.
Inshallah, next week, 29th of this month, I'll be traveling for
Okay.
3 weeks. So that's planned for 3 weeks.
Uh, so your company are providing work from home, any work from home hybrid mode? Only you have to go.
They will not give the work from home option, but if any kind of emergency, we have to work from home. It will
Okay.
be considered as it will be taken from the annual leave itself.
Okay.
We need to be available anytime
Okay.
in during the annual leave also if anything required. So this time maybe I need to connect because
And
my colleague also.
which
Yeah.
firewall currently you are using in your company?
So we are using Palo Alto and FortiGate.
Okay, 48 and
Yeah,
Palo Alto.
yeah, both.
Okay. And which type of switch?
Switch 9200 and routers also there 4300.
Okay, 48, yeah, good. Same here, I am also using.
Yeah, okay. So we are Bangalore, like we have a few branches in the UAE itself.
So
So
All 9200 you are using as L3 and L2.
And L2, it's like a branch switches usually,
Okay,
like
okay.
yeah, like a branch for this like branch connectivity. And top of that, we have a firewall and a router. We are connecting to
And
that
firewall, which model you are using?
firewall. Like 8 to 820 something. I
Yeah,
think.
820 maybe. Okay, yeah, that is. So almost in your organization, maybe 1000 are employee are sitting there. So,
Okay. So how about I mean the holidays? Like you have to connect it or no need to connect?
no, actually our organization is 24/7 support. So I have go to office only 3 days, and the rest 2 days we have to log in from home.
Oh, that's great, man.
Uh,
Is it nearby the office?
Sorry.
Is it nearby the office? I mean home.
Yeah. Actually, after the corona, that will be totally work from home. But right now, they are shifting to hybrid mode right now.
So even you have stopped the recording session, right? Or continue?
No, yeah, record already started.
Okay.
Okay, don't worry. That will be only internal. So,
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, sorry guys, sorry. Actually, I restarted my laptop.
Fine, no problem.
I restarted my laptop. Actually, Wi-Fi option was invisible. I'm not sure what happened. Then I restarted my laptop. Okay, now let me reshare my screen. Swapnil, now you are getting little bit, or how it is?
Yeah, fine means. Mm,
So please,
I
yeah,
mhm.
continue. You continue.
Previously I
Yeah, go
worked
ahead.
on Citrix load balancer, so I know little bit means basics about it. And yes, after going through the previous lectures recording, then I will be
Yeah.
in sync with you guys.
Yeah.
Actually, we have SME, F5 SME. He does everything, and we only get chance when there are some troubleshooting calls or something. Not that much exposure to F5.
So that guy, he'll be only handling the FI, that SMA.
He handles everything, means, but
Like there is no
he
any restrictions like devices, not in the security. Like some organization, they have one dedicated guy for the FI. That's my question.
everyone has access, but that particular guy from US, he handles them most of the cases. He know everything, most of the topology. That's why,
Okay.
and he doesn't share anything with any other people.
Yeah, except for most
that
of the
is
company guys.
yeah. It's a politics, right?
Yeah,
Politics,
So
yeah.
what kind of organization it is, like any kind of
media streaming. It is Warner Brothers Discovery.
what is media stream?
Streaming Discovery, Warner Brothers Discovery.
That means it's a channel.
Warner Brothers Discovery, media streaming means all the channels, all that multicast, all that stuff.
I
Yeah,
see. Okay.
all the channels you are seeing, like I work in Global G Talk. We have a knock, and yeah, we manage a lot of things.
Okay.
Haris, have you
Okay.
any knowledge on checkpoint?
No, we don't have the checkpoint here. I think in Dubai they don't have much checkpoint. Mostly organization they are using F5, I believe. In wherever I am seeing any openings, they were all everywhere they are asking for the F5 knowledge.
Yeah, F5 and
Not
Palo Alto everywhere.
the checkpoint is not popular, I believe, nowadays in UAE.
Okay, maybe Middle East, the FortiGate are very popular on there.
Yeah, FortiGate, Palo Alto, and F5. These three are the very
Okay.
Yeah, even in the here in Europe, these three are common.
Checkpoint is mostly I've seen in the banking domain and UK side. UK side.
Okay.
Yeah.
UK
Yeah.
side, yeah.
Previously, I was working for a bank, and yeah, there we were using checkpoint for
My one
extra.
friend are living in Dubai. They are also saying we're using only 40 So maybe there is a very popular on that side.
Yeah, FortiGate and follow on to.
Yeah. Fine. The question, what was the question actually? What was the question? Where interactive check help monitoring, right? Okay. Okay. See that FTP username password which we created in the server, it will be ended in the F5. As per, I mean, any sessions can be created in the F5 and we will be entered in the user ID in F5. Is it like this?
Yes. I'm going to show. Let me just log into a device and I want to show. So interactive health check monitor is not available default by default. Whatever default health check monitor is there, it is not available. If you want to achieve these types of health monitor, then we need to create custom monitoring. I want to show that. Let me just. I think my laptop restarted, so it will take one. Yeah, to log in. Okay, if you come to here, local traffic. So just for opening also, so in middle, I will try to show whenever anything's come related to him. So LTM related things, all the things we perform on the local traffic opening. So what about want to do anything related to LTM, we need to come on the local traffic. We can do all the things like polls, node, monitors, virtual server, everything. So this is the part of local traffic. Okay. If we come to the monitors here, and see, there is no any kinds of FTP. If you come on the pool levels, if you come here on the pool levels and pool level, see here, default monitoring is there FTP? No. Kinds of FTP is there? No. So these are
No.
the only default we can use. But we can run if we can monitors here, and if we try to create here, and we can give name here, and here we can select, for example, FTP, and see. Here we can give the name, for example, FTP that paste. And this is the type of FTP, parent monitor FTP. So whenever we create custom monitoring, guys, whenever we create anything related to custom, it is going to create on the base of parent monitors. Like whatever already there in F5, it will come under parent monitors. On top of parent monitors, we generally create custom one. We can't directly create custom without putting parent monitors. So we need to keep parent monitors and then we need to create custom. Okay. See here. Here we need to mention username. For example, I mention Harish. Harish. Username, password I just mentioned, for example, admin 123. Path I'm just keeping any, mode is passive, or anything. So this username password should be available on the FTP server. So F5 is going to be work as human like you and me, and it is going to be every 10 seconds, it is going to be logging through username and password to check the path, whatever is defined here. And if that is available, it is act as active. If it is not available, it is marked as a down. Now it is clear like what is interactive health monitors.
So, Surya, that means then the two monitoring is required for this kind of things, right? The main monitoring and the top of that, the second monitoring for the FTP. Am I right or not?
If you create custom one, if you create any custom monitoring in parent monitor, we need to select FTP. Parent means, guys, whatever things designed in F5. On top of that, we create custom one. So when create custom, please select parent monitor as actual one, FTP. On top of this, we are creating this custom one. Now it is clear, right?
No, 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 no. I didn't clear actually. That first of all, we are monitoring. Mon first monitoring it what it is, not FTP, right? FTP is a second monitoring, right? Like a health
No, no.
check
What I
monitoring.
am telling,
Yeah.
if you want to achieve interactive check health monitor, that is not available in default here. If you come in the pool in health monitors, FTP is by default not enables, no, not available in defaults. Recently, we have created this one FTP test. Once we create a custom one, now it is showing here. Now this we can use as a health check monitors. And while creating custom monitor, how we can do that? We need to come the monitors, create here. For example, let me delete it and again create it so that it will be clear for you. Let me delete this. Yeah, let me delete this. Click on create. Here we can give any name. For example, I give FTP test. What is the type of custom monitoring we have to create? What is the type? There are so
FTP.
many types. This is the FTP, right? So once we select type FTP, so we are creating custom monitoring. Custom is something created by additionally like you and me. Type of FTP in parent monitor automatically it is selected FTP, right? So this is the parent means it is already defined the FTP functionality inside the F5. On top of that, we are creating custom one. So while creating custom one, we need to use parent monitor FTP, which is already there in the F5.
Okay. Then parent monitor is FTP in the multiple monitor. So once this is just custom created policy, but it is not associated to anywhere. Just creating the monitor mechanism, and once we created here, what we can create the multiple monitor mechanism here. Then we can associate to the pool, right? Or
Cool. Yeah.
Okay. So this is our decision, right? Like which type of monitor we need to give to the pool, right? Like FTP server, FTP, and if suppose HTTP is not running over there, no need to sell the HTTP monitoring over there. Right? Only FTP is enough, right?
Yeah. See, whatever monitoring is here, apart from that, if any new requirement come, like interactive check monitoring, for that we need to create custom, like from ourselves. This is not available by default in F5, right? This is not available by default in F5. For that, we need to come to the monitors, and these are the default one which is already created. Now we can create custom here from ourselves, and we can give name FTP or this FTP maybe in your case may be different. Different also, for example, FTP, DNA, there are so many things, right? Let's consider FTP. Now we are creating FTP and where we can give username, for example, Hari's password, we can give like admin 123 and path we can define if it is there. If not, we can keep as it is. If it keep as it is means it is going to be check everything. Click finish. Once we click finish, now we have create custom monitoring profile. Custom monitoring we have created.
Okay, this kind of additional monitoring mechanism system we can say, like suppose particularly application, whatever the application is running on the backend server, so always it will be keep monitoring this application which is related to SQL or FTP or SMTP or whatever it is. It will be monitored over there at all the times. Like then we will get immediately alert after, if the application is down, immediately admin will get alert. Right? This is the mechanism in the F5.
Yeah. Health check,
Good.
these are the features which makes F5 as a market leader. So if we don't have a health check monitor, then if, for example, backend service is done, then how F5 will know? It will send the traffic and user will see like service will be interrupted, right? Backend server is down and again a new request is going to that backend server, right? Backend server is not going to respond, then user will get the error, right? Maybe 503 error or something error, site can't be accessible or other stuff, right? So that is the reasons health check monitor play a vital role to monitor our backend applications.
Yeah, it's great.
And
Which
this is the custom one, which is additionally created, additionally health monitor created, which is not present by default.
Okay, who is the competitor for the F5?
I think Citrix.
Okay.
After
Citrix,
F5
Citrix has the same mechanism.
Citrix, I don't have much work and all, but yes, this Citrix will also load balancer. So load balancing mechanism may be different. It's the same, but the way of configuration, the way of handling of devices may be different, and some terminology like in checkpoint and follow, right? In checkpoint, we called sandblast for wildfire analysis, malware analysis, and in follow we called wildfire, right? So the same concept they are selling with different name.
Okay, but it's F5 is good, very intelligent, right?
Okay. So now if you come to the pool, and if you come to the pool, now whatever custom monitoring we have created, now
I think again power has gone. Hello.
Yeah, maybe there is another power cut.
Yeah, okay.
now we can, for example, let me just use this and let me replace this.
There was a drop, Surya, earlier. What did you say? There was a disconnection earlier.
Yeah, so once we create the custom, now it will show in health check monitors, and then now we can use it in our pool.
Okay.
But see, now it is saying availability unknown. Why it is saying unknown, guys?
Because FTP is not there.
Yeah, FTP is not there. Even Hari's username password is not there on server, right? So how if I will know okay, backend server is live, because we are using a FTP test health check monitor, and that functionality is not available on the backend server here.
So
Just
to ask you one example, another example, like this. Suppose FTP application is running over the backend server. So backend server, we are creating the one ID for the monitoring. Am I right? And there or for another ID we can create it for the user login. Am I right? Or this is common?
Common basically depends upon the team who want to monitor these types of health checks. So of course, this is not done by ourselves. If people coming, application team coming to us, okay, please use health monitor as FTP, and we are providing you the username password. And this is the path we want to monitor on the backend server. Then we need to come to our F5, create custom profile, custom monitoring, mention the path, whatever they have given, mention the username password, whatever they have given, and then implement call in the pool levels. That's it.
Okay. Then FTP link we can give to the anyone in outside of the outside, then they can access. So my point is like when the request is coming here in the F5 is validate any kind of user ID password which we are giving here. This as a monitor or something else like user ID password. It will be validated here in the F5, right? Is there any kind of mechanism? Is the genuine user or not? Voice is breaking. Breaking. Voice breaking.
In this, okay, now it is clear.
Yeah.
Actually, I think today is Saturday, so I think some work is going on in my area. So I'm not sure who is playing with the power.
Okay.
Someone playing with power also, like doing some work, so they will cut the power like this.
Okay, what did you say about the FTP? How the validation is happening?
Validation will happen like with server. F5 is going to work as a you and me. So when we generally put the username password, where it is going to be authenticated, right? It will get on the server, right? It is created on the server. See, F5 here is just working as you and me, like you and me. You are trying to log into the FTP server. FTP server has your details. FTP server will get authenticated. If that detail is not to the FTP server, then it will mark as a down. Right? Once F5 will put the username password, that username password should be present to the FTP server. See, here F5 is just working as you and me, log into the FTP server. That's it.
Okay, fine. There is no any validation happening, like it's coming from the external, from the internet is coming accessing someone, like the user and password. It is is there
No,
any?
no, not that, not that like. It is simple concept. If I will act here as like you and me. For example, you are accessing your banking account, right? You mention username and password. Where username and password created? Somewhere on the authentication server, somewhere on the server, right? So it will go to there for authentication purpose. Similar like here. If I will work as a you and me, and F5 is going to put the username and password, whatever you mention. And that username and password should be present on the FTP server, path should be present on the FTP server. If it is not there, it is going to mark as a down. That is called interactive chain monitoring.
Okay, right. I'm just giving one kind of example. Okay, just maybe stupid question. Suppose one user want any customer want to upload some kind of file, like example for the KYC. Are you audible?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of KYC for, so suppose I have the user and password. Just given some kind of example, not the real one. I want to upload the KYC some informations to the some of the portal through the FTP. Then that FTP, the admin has given kind of user and passwords to the customers. Then whenever it's uploading to the connecting to the server, while the user is entering the password, user and password, that user and password will be validated in the F5 or directly validated in the FTP server only. Hello. Voice is breaking. Not audible.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I'm telling it is going to validate on FTP server only.
Okay, fine.
Because F5 is acting as a you and me. F5 we only provided the details whatever created on the server levels. Now it is clear, right?
Yeah. Now it's clear. Fine.
It is not kinds of external authentication and other stuff. No, it is just interactive health check monitor. F5 is telling to customer these types of health check monitors I have, so you can use as per your requirement in the business.
Okay, fine.
Okay. So this is about active. Okay. Then another one is health monitor testing, guys. What is health monitor testing? So if we come to the F5, I think I'm able to access our F5. I'm not sure. Let me remove first monitoring, otherwise, it will mark as a down because we are using as a FTP and this is not available. So let me remove this and you can use this. Okay. So what is guys monitor testing? Health monitor testing. So for example, this is very good features in F5. If you come on the monitors, and for example, come to the HTTP. See, here is option like test. So before implementing in the productions, you can test the monitor also. For example, backend server is running on HTTP or maybe TCP. So what we can do, we can mention here IP address and we can mention here port, and then we can see the result. Let me try to use different monitors here. Just 1 minute, monitors. And let me try to use ICMP. I want to test ICMP monitoring, guys, okay? And I want to use here server IP address. What is server IP address? 192.168.1.1. Let me try to test it. Okay. It's saying like monitoring already using, but I'm trying to access this. 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. Meters. Okay, HTTP is TCP is not showing here. Let me try to use this one, 192. Maybe you guys need to focus on the concept. Just focus on the concept 1.1. And let me try here 80. We test it. See. So what is saying here? Last state is job. So this is the testing or monitoring. For example, if you want to check your backend server without involving the application team, server teams, so we can check the monitor of the backend server, like what is the status, like that on backend server, HTTP is running on port 80, or what is the state, last state, it is up or down, what is the state time, last result, what is the last result, like test completed, up. So this is lots of good features in F5 where you can do the testing without involving the application team and backend team about the backend server.
So that means we can we have to define the port, right? We have to know the which application is running over the backend server. Like if it is SQL, then the different port, and FTP is different port. That's the search 22 or something is different. So right. So
Yeah.
Earlier we got error message because the monitoring system is already configured for this kind of server, right? It's supposed this can be work on the new one, right? Only, right?
No, actually, I think it's happened maybe because where we use in pool. Let me show it. We are using TCP, right?
Yeah.
So once we use here ICMP also, maybe it will not get error. Let me try to use ICMP also.
So yeah, in our company, we can see only TCP monitor are enabling. So that is sufficient to monitor all the server.
No. TCP is just going to monitor the backend server on port 80 only. It means in your environment, all the application server which is hosted behind F5 is running on port TCP. I think it should not TCP only, Rahman, because like 443 or other server also. So only you have TCP server running on the like backend server.
Okay.
No, I'm just asking in your company, all the
Yeah.
server is hosted behind F5. For that only they have enabled services only TCP or other also.
No. Actually, I have verified one by one all pools. They are enabling only TCP. So.
Okay. So now it is
So
clear. Backend server running on the maybe on backend server is running the services like HTTP, HTTP, TCP, and they have enabled the health check monitor as TCP. So what our F5 will do, F5 is going to be initiate 3-way handshake to the backend server, whatever we have seen in the beginning on Wireshark. So yeah, mostly company with TCP, but yeah, we can change as per the requirement.
Okay.
Yeah. So why we get error, Harish? Because ICMP was not on health check monitor list. Let me try to use gateway ICMP, and we'll try to test here. And we can try to mention our backend server IP address 192.168.1.1. Let me try to see if you're getting any error or not. Okay, saying like gateway ICMP LTM pool already exists. The requested monitors instance common gateway ICMP. Okay, I think by default, if you come with the node labels, see health check monitor ICMP is maybe because of this, what I'm expecting here. But yes, we should aware the concept like what is testing, health monitor testing in F5. So it is very good features. We can test our backend application server if we know the port and also. Okay.
Okay. It's understood the concept. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Now then, let me try to see. Okay, what is monitor instance? This is also a very good concept. Even I was not aware. Okay, when I started seeing the content, then I have learned this monitor instance. Monitor instance means, guys, if you want to check HTTP health monitor is called on how many devices? If you want to check HTTP health monitor is checked on how many devices, then we can check the monitor instance. Let me show here. Come to monitors. And for example, if you want, this is the health check monitor, HTTP. If you want to know this health check monitor is called on how many pool members, how many node, how many pool. So we can do with the help of monitor instance. Okay. For example, someone assigned task to you, like Harish or Swapnil or Rahman. They want to know from you, like health check monitor HTTP is called on how many pool members? How many pool? So for that, we need to go on the every pool. Then we need to go on the, for example, we have 20 pool, 100 pool. Then we need to go on the every pool. And we need to go and click on the pool here. And then we need to the opening. Then we need to come on the health monitor, and then we can tell, okay, this pool has TCP or ICMP or maybe HTTP. We need to check manually, right? We need to come to the every pool and then check, okay, this pool is using this health monitor, this pool is using this health monitor. But if you want to know from one click only, so if you come to the monitors, come to the HTTP, you want like this HTTP is called on how many pool? Click on that, go on the instances. See, now it will show this HTTP health monitor is called on pool HTTP pool. See, in our environment at the moment we have only one pool. So that is the reason it is showing HTTP pool 1. For example, in your environment, maybe this health check monitor is called on 10 pool. It will show all the pool here. See, it is how easy to find this health monitor is called on how many pool. Now I hope concept is clear.
Yeah, that is clear.
Yeah. For example, let me create one pool. I think it will support Swapnil also. Let me create one pool here. So pool is kind of where we define our pool member. Pool member is basically application server. Just understand like this. So if you combine server IP plus port, it is make as applications. So pool is
like server farm, backend server farm IPs.
Yeah, you're right. Inside
Means
pool, we define backend server IP. IP and port.
Means these are the actual server IP, yeah?
Correct. So
Okay.
whatever the member we define inside the pool, that will the actual application server which is hosted behind F5.
Okay. So in Citrix, we call this at server form. Okay, I understand.
So
Here it is.
whatever server we define in the pool, that is the actual application server, and pool we definitely define on the virtual server. Virtual server basically which generally work on behalf of actual application server. So if you watch first sessions, we'll get the clarity, and then if we come to tomorrow session, we will match our we will be our sync up. Okay. So let me create one pool here. I'm just giving here HTTPS pool. HTTPS. Okay. And I'm not doing anything here. In health monitor, I'm trying to do HTTP here. Okay. And let's consider everything as it is. And I want to add node here, node list. Same. See, one more thing, guys. Multiple, whatever node we have, we can call on multiple pools. So one node can be part of multiple pool. One pool member can be part of multiple pool. One node means backend server can handle multiple applications. So on single backend server, we can run multiple applications like facebook.com, youtube.com, amazon.com. So we should be aware about it. If anyone asks, same server we can call on multiple pool? Yes, we can call on multiple pool. Same pool member we can call on multiple pool? Yes, we can call on multiple pool. It depends upon the services, whatever running on the backend server. Let me add this. No, node list, and I'm trying to use port here 80. Services like HTTP. One dot 1.2, 1.3. So these are the server where our HTTP application is running. And we are calling our backend server in pool. So this is brush up kind of for Swapnil also. Let me finish here. Why I created this? To show you the monitor instance, guys. So now we have two pool created. Both pool has a simple and same backend server is called. Whatever the pool members we generally call in HTTP pool, same pool member will call on the HTTPS pool also. Why? Maybe in company, your server has two services running, 80 plus 443. Okay. If we come to the monitors here, and now come to the HTTP, I want to check like this HTTP health check monitor is called on how many pool. If you click instances, now it is showing here. So HTTP health check monitor is called on pool HTTP pool, also in HTTPS pool. So now this is the beauty of monitor instances.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so now last one for today's sessions. This thing I have explained, but I will try to explain this again tomorrow for you guys. Let me explain this one. Network map is very good concept. Earlier it was not there in the version 13. This network map concept was not there in the version 13.1 something. Also, it started in the version 15 and above. So if you are using the version like 30 something in productions, network map features is not available in F5. But here, if you are using the version like 15 and above, network map feature is there. Okay. But in network map, if you come here, guys, if you click on the here local traffic, see there is a network map options. If you click here, it will new window open. Okay, new window open. And in our lab environment, we have only 2 virtual servers there. That is the reason it is very simple to show you. But for let's consider in your company, there are multiple partitions created here. For example, tenant A, tenant B, and there are 100 or 20, 500 partitions created. And if you want to know how many virtual server active in partition common, how many virtual server is active in partition tenant A, how many virtual server is active in partition tenant B, then we can filter the partition here. We can filter the IP address here, virtual server IP address if you know. If you don't know, just select the partition. So I have selected common partition. In common partition, there are 2 virtual server, sorry, 1 virtual server we have created, and it is showing green. Okay, if you want to click here, it will show all the connections, like what is gene out, packet seen out, connection max, request, everything. Or I want to check the connection on pool levels. If you come here, click on the pools, and you can see on the pool level also how many packets handled by server 1, how many packets handled by server 2, bits in, out, connections, everything we can see with the help of network map. We can copy the name also. Sometimes on F5 it is not good things to copy, but on network map, everything we can copy and we can troubleshoot. So this is the beauty. This is the new concept they developed after version 15.
What is the diagram on next step? Starts the next diagram.
Which one?
What is the diagram tab? Next one starts.
One minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is saying like, this is the virtual server. Inside this virtual server, this is the pool called. Inside the pool, this is the pool members called. Inside pool member, these are the nodes. So this is how it is simply explained. It's kind of diagram this show, guys.
So good feature. Like we can continue very easily in the as per the diagram itself, right?
Yes.
This tool is like a yeah.
For Swapnil also, see Swapnil, this is the actual pool member who handle the application, server 1, server 2, server 3. And these 3 pool member we call on this pool, HTTP pool, we can give any name. And this pool we call on the virtual server. What is virtual server? Virtual server basically work on behalf of this application server. That is the reason traffic is getting uploaded on our F5 load balancers. So whatever DNS entry, for example, facebook.com, www.facebook.com, and its IP address is, for example, 192.168.2.200. So whatever DNS entry we created for the application which is hosted behind F5, in DNS entry we use virtual server IP address. Once we use the virtual server IP address, if user is trying to access facebook.com, that traffic is getting uploaded to the F5 load balancer, because in DNS we have mentioned VIP IP as a DNS entry. So inside VIP we have called pool. Inside pool we have the pool member where actual application is hosted.
Okay.
So this is how it looks like in F5. Very simple, very short, very understandable.
Yeah, and every time if I want to I want to access any service, I have to access it via virtual IP only.
Yes. All the user, because user has no visibility who is in the middle, because we
Yeah.
have added DNS entry as our VIP IP. Okay. And that is the reasons the traffic is getting offloaded on F5, and on F5 we have created pool, and then server team given 3 members with services, and we call as a pool members inside the pool.
Pool members are the actual servers, hardware, and virtual IP from externally we means accessing the site, and virtual IP is managed by the F5 to how it goes. Okay, understood.
Yes. Virtual IP we created on F5, And that IP is binded with the application IP. Like for example, facebook.com, the DNS is 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and that 10, 10, 10 will create VIP on the F5 load balancer.
Okay. Yeah, understood.
VIP IP can be private, can be public. It depends upon requirement and company to company design. Sometimes traffic coming from remote to access our application server. Sometimes traffic coming from internet to access our application server. Sometimes NATing happen. If NATing happen, then we create private IP as a virtual IP. If NATing not happen, then generally create public IP as a virtual IP. So now this is the concept, guys.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, go ahead, Harish. Whatever you are asking.
It's fine. It's fine. It's clear. Very good.
Okay. So before wrap up this, I want to just explain little bit or something. Let me just take the pen, and it will brush up for Harish and Rahman. So it will brush up. So let's consider, guys. Let me just let's consider 3 application server we have. And what is the application? www.facebook.com. Okay. And this is the server IP 10.10.10.10, 11, 12. Okay. And for this, we have created DNS entry like public IP 20.20.20.20. This is our F5. These are the backends. People coming from internet to access www.facebook.coms. We have the firewall. This is the internet. Traffic coming from internet. When user trying to access facebook.com, it will go for the DNS resolution. Once DNS resolution, it will get, user will get the IP 20.20.20.20. This request come to the firewall. On firewall, we have at source as any, destination as VIP IP 20.20.20. Now it will come to the F5. On F5, we created VIP IP with 20.20.20.20, whatever public IP we have binded with this facebook.coms. Then F5 is, then traffic will come to F5. Then inside VIP, we have called this pool. Inside this pool, we have this pool members. And now this is how traffic get forwarded. So I just explained because of English new today. So he will understand the flow and how F5 basically work in the production.
So
Yes, Raman.
Yeah, we can enable netting also for Palo Alto firewall. Suppose the traffic are coming from outside.
Netting, yeah, correct. If traffic coming from remote side, we can do netting also.
Yeah.
And if you do netting, then we need to create private IP to as a VIP. How?
Yeah. So for net, which IP we have to translate on virtual IP?
Yes. So we need to add the NAT here. If anyone, so original source will be any, original destination will be this public IP. If anyone trying to hit this IP, please get this translated not as a source, as it translated destination with the private IP, for example, 10.10.10.10, which is created VIP on our load balance.
Okay.
okay,
Source
understood.
we don't need to translate. We need to translate destination because destination is the public IP, right? Why will translate source? Because source is the user which come from internet. We don't need to translate source. We need to translate destination because destination is our virtual IP, right?
One simple question actually. Usually we are doing the natting in the perimeter firewall, which is Palo Alto here. Okay, right from what you call source any destinations to the virtual IP, and we are defining one NAT IP in perimeter firewall. So this NAT, is it usually the single IP, right? Not any kind of pool IP. It's a single IP.
Actually, I have explained just example. Maybe in your environment, maybe it is different. Services may be different. Design may be different. I just explained the flow so that you guys also get brush up. And so Punil has the overview about like how F5 work in the production in the company.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
just
have like this only means uh natting is from public IP for some applications if they are accessing from externally, and it is natted to private IP, and that private IP is considered means hosted as a virtual IP on F5. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
this NAT is
Now
single
you
IP.
got it. Now
This
you
is
got it.
out of the syllabus question. Usually we are doing the NATing in with the single IP with the virtual IP, right? So if suppose is coming the multiple connection, this NAT IP, private IP having limitations to handle the connection. Like if
No, but
suppose
you use
1000
original source we keep any, right?
original
While
any.
doing NAT, but we add original source any, original destination VIP, original source as we can keep as any, and destination translation which is a private type. So multiple people can access this in that case.
There is no limitations of the private IP for the NATing, right? This is just
Yeah. Limitation. This one IP
Yeah.
can handle 65,000 connections. See if you know connection
yeah,
is
this is
coming more than
65,000
65,000.
connection.
Yeah. See if you know this application is accessed by more than 65,000 people, then maybe we need to use multiple IP as per your design. But if you know, okay, this application is only accessible by 65,000 people, so at that times, one IP is fine. So that is the results we use like SNet, right? So SNet pool we use, and we'll see all the things. SNet pool we use while communicating the backend server, because one IP has the only capability to 65,000 connection handling.
Okay, fine. It's 65,000. That was the number what I was thinking about. Okay.
So basically, this is just the front side changes, guys. Whatever we are doing before F5, like firewall, router, switches, whatever coming in the path. But I just explained because same types of concept in our environment in previous company was also there. And so